Today we're talking about how to decide what records to buy, plus the allure of compact discs and Skid Row, the band.
All that and more coming up on Ask Him Anything.
Hi, my name is Frank.
My name is Sherry.
Welcome back to Sundays on Channel 33 RPM, your channel for vinyl, gear, and more. Now, as Sherry, or aka Mrs. Channel 33 RPM mentioned at the top, I have a packed episode. This is an Ask Me Anything episode where we answer, I answer, both of us answer your questions. So without further ado,
here we go. Okay, so the first question comes from Mike. How do you decide what records you're going to get? I just found that one of my favorite bands releases one of their albums on vinyl and they only pressed 500 copies and it's on colored vinyl. What makes you decide to purchase it or pass on it?
Personally, there's a couple of factors. First, I have to want the record, right? You're not going to... some people buy records for collectability and collectability's sake, whether they like the band, they don't like the band. They're kind of like... speculators or flippers. They buy records to sell. Now, I'm not saying that Mike is doing that. You're not doing that here, judging by your question, but that's sort of a side note. But personally, deciding whether to buy a record, obviously if I like the band or the content of the record, that is number one for me. Number two is price, and that is often the deciding factor. For example, there's a new soundtrack out to the Halloween 3 movie. It's a reissue, and it is ridiculously expensive. Shipping to Canada, it's almost like $50. So I would absolutely love this record. The price on that one is, the price is cost prohibitive, so I'm not going to get it. So those are my two factors. Got to love the band, and the price has to be right. And if the price is not right, and I really do want that material, the other option, I think, is buying on another format. For example, a compact disc. I still love CDs. And oftentimes you can get a CD for the fraction of the price of the record. And I think CDs still sound pretty darn decent. So again, if I go option one, or through step one and step two, and if that's not working out for me, then I'll just buy the CD. Anything you want to add?
No, I guess you can also just keep an eye on it. Like a lot of the stuff tends to come down in price after the initial wow wears off, and lots of people try to buy it and sell it for triple, quadruple, and they hold on to it for a while, and if it's not as popular, it drops in price, and then you can get it then.
For sure. Prices do fluctuate. Oftentimes, even record store day stuff, which is limited edition. If I go to the local record stores now, they got a lot of the record store day titles in discount bins. So even if it's a limited edition item, there's a chance the price could go down. I don't think either of us are just suggesting that you wait, because obviously if you snooze, you could lose. I don't want to be a bad influence, but just buy it!
This question comes from Tony. Have you ever done a show on collecting or buying CDs? I know it's a show based on vinyl records, but as a music collector, I buy all formats. Thank you for your time. Stay cool.
Tony, I buy all musical formats as well. And the last question, we were just talking about CDs. Have I ever done a dedicated episode on CDs? No. I'm not sure what form that would necessarily take. I can think about that. If you have any suggestions, let me know. But I definitely buy CDs all the time, particularly because I said this in past episodes, CDs right now are the best deal out there on new music. I mean, practically new releases are a fraction of what they were even 20 years ago. And basically you can't give away older CDs. For the most part, there's some collectible ones, but they are dirt cheap. So yeah, I love CDs. When's the last time you bought a CD?
It's been a while. I just tend to listen to a lot of this stuff on Deezer, but I find that your records, the thing I like is because you've got such a good record player. We've got a lot of the quality stuff that I like to listen to, and I just sit with the headphones on your record player, and I mean, I love the sound of that, but it's been forever since I bought a CD.
Streaming is too. I mean, I stream all the time. I listen to most of my music streaming because I'm in the car and commuting. I listen all the time, so nothing wrong with streaming.
Okay, this question comes from Jeff McCormack. He asks, question for a future episode, stylus cleaning, magic eraser versus zero dust versus other options. Do you use any, and what is your experience with them, if any?
Jeff, this is a good question, and I don't talk about stylus cleaning too often, but I probably should. So this here is a zero dust. Now, I know, Sherry, you're not too much into the technical aspects of record collecting.
I just listen to the records.
But what do you think? What would you use this for?
I would say it's a magnifying glass.
You are half right.
Okay.
that part is a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
What's this thing?
I don't know.
So it's the Zero Dust. It comes from Japan, and the problem with these is they work well, but they are expensive. I think this thing is like $40. But basically there is sort of like a silicone filled or something plasticky thing here. It's sticky. And basically you stick this on your turntable. I did a video about this before, I'll link below. And you drop your tone arm on here, and the stylus kind of sticks on there, and you pull it up and it pulls dirt and dust off. So this is the magnifying glass, and you use this to take a close look at the stylus, check if it's dirty, and see if it's cleaned afterwards. So absolutely.
So can you clean this once it's got all that stuff on there? Can you clean that off of there and continue to use it? Or?
You can. Yeah, you can clean it with tap water. So this is very cool, and I absolutely love this for cleaning stylus. So that's one thing. Magic eraser, it's literally like a kitchen magic eraser. Some people use those to clean their stylus, their needles on their record players, their styli. I haven't tried that, but people do use that, but I don't want to speak to it because I don't have any experience. I don't want to diss it. I don't want to praise it. There's also other things you can use to clean your stylus. Here is, this is from Bags Unlimited. This is just a little stylus cleaning brush. And basically you just put some of the fluid on here on the brush, and you put it underneath your stylus, and very carefully make sure you pull in the right direction to kind of go this way. Anyway, that cleans it. You should clean your stylus regularly, if not before every play, often. I think the fine folks at Groove Washer, and they make a record clean brush. I'm pretty sure they sent me one of these to sample. I'll show that in a future video. So absolutely essential to clean your stylus, and whatever, this is really good. This is more affordable. Magic eraser, maybe that works. I know I don't have an opinion on that, but I should try it at some point. So yeah, good question.
Our last question comes from Vendetta, Australia. I noticed you love heaps of metal and rock. Do you like Skid Row? If so, which Skid Row vinyl do you have?
I do like Skid Row, and I'll show them in a second, but what do you think of Skid Row?
I like them. I mean, I've always liked the music. We saw Sebastian Bach in concert in Edmonton, right?
Were you there?
Yeah, I got a really good picture of him. And it's funny because I tweeted it out afterwards, and it was like my big thing. He was like the first person with a check mark to like my tweet. So I was really excited because I tweeted that out and he liked that.
Yeah, I love Sebastian. He gets a hard time on social media because he can be a bit of a jerk, an opinionated jerk.
Who isn't on social media?
Yeah. And he's a rock star, and I think what he does is he likes red wine. I think he drinks too much sometimes and hits social media, and I know he's known for sort of deleting some of his tweets the next morning. Don't drink and tweet. Anyway, yes, to answer your questions, first I'll go in kind of chronological order. Here's the debut Skid Row album.
Hey, yeah, you got 3 of them.
I got 3 copies. I was like, what the heck do I have 3 copies? But luckily I started buying vinyl back before the I was buying vinyl before the recent vinyl resurgence. So records used to be dirt cheap. I think I got these for $5 or so. This one is an original pressing, and this is a European pressing of some sort. And, oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
This one, no, I'll show this one next. This is an original Canadian pressing of the Skid Row debut. And this is the recent-ish, maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, reissue that came out on the Friday music label. I actually found this one. What was that store called in the mall? Urban Outfitters? Is that the one?
In West Edmonton Mall.
Yeah. Urban Outfitters.
Like the Urban Planet or Urban Outfitters or something.
Whatever it is. It's a chain, and it's mostly caters to people not like us. No, I don't mean that to sound bad, but I am not their target demographic. It is younger people. But this was in the clearance bin for $9.99, so I actually ended up buying a few copies, 3 copies of it, and I gave 2 away. Then I got 2 original pressings of their second album, Slave to the Grind. One is German, and one is from the UK. And I got the B-sides ourselves. This was reissued last year as part of Rhino Records Rocktober, and it is Rocktober, so I'm interested in seeing what albums they are reissuing this year. But this I got down in Fargo, North Dakota for $12 last year, so Skid Row collection.
Nice.
That's all the questions we are tackling today, short and sweet, because that's the way it has to be sometimes, guys. I love these questions. I love when Sherry comes on and does these episodes with me. It's a ton of fun. So if you have a question for a future episode of Ask Me Anything, let us know in the comments below, and I will try to pry Sherry away for the commitments to come on this show and ask the questions and participate in the answers. Or better yet, if you have any questions for her, we welcome those as well. Sherry?
Thank you.
Anyway, dear 33ers, I hope each and every one of you has a fantastic week. If you like this episode, thumbs up, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Until next time, dear 33ers, keep on spinning.